Okay, so let us start. This is numerical methods, third year applied. And so AMM 303 G2 numerical methods. Right, so in third year you will have 3 applied courses. Each of them are 2 credit courses. One is numerical methods, other one is mathematical modeling, and the other one is advanced fluid dynamics or fluid dynamics 2. So all 3 lectures will be conducted in this semester. So according to your timetable, I believe you have 9 applied mathematics lectures so far scheduled. So this week, for the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday classes, I will teach the applied mathematics course, because the other lecturers are working on some other subjects as well. So once they are finished with their subjects, we will finalize the timetable and let you know about the exact times of this mathematical numerical method and other courses separately, right? So as of now, first week, first 3 days, and also on Thursday afternoon, I will teach numerical methods, and after that they will come in, and then we will inform you the timetable. The general timetable is already in the Dean's office website or faculty website, so you can take a look at this. Right. So this course is numerical methods. So as of now, the faculty decided to continue online lectures for the second semester. Right, so we are continuing the online lectures now. We are still not decided when we will be conducting your first semester exam. Right? So once that was decided, we may be able to call you here, or we will do something for the first semester exam, and for that we will give a break, and then we will continue this again in case if they conduct the first semester exam. If not, we will continue teaching the second semester, and maybe at the year end you may have exam for all the subjects depending on the coronavirus situation in the country. Right? So that was a plan in the faculty. So as of now, we will continue teaching second semester courses online. So everything will be online. So it will be the usual procedure. The lecture notes and the tutorial will be uploaded in the LMS, and you will be informed about the lectures through your WhatsApp group or the Telegram group, and the Zoom link will be shared, and you can log in and log in and view the lectures. And at the same time, for the people who have internet troubles, right? So I know there are a lot of places in the country where the internet is not good and Zoom may not work on certain times. So for those people, what we are going to do is we did that in the last semester also. We will record these lectures, right? And then we will post it in a YouTube video, right? And we will send you the link for the YouTube video through your WhatsApp group. So you can download, or you can look at the YouTube video at your convenience time and see what we are teaching on the time, in case if you miss the lectures, right? So if you have internet trouble or anything, you don't need to worry about that during the lecture time, right? So any information regarding the exam and everything, Dean will inform you by the suitable group and by the website. Lectures, lecture notes, time to time we will upload in the LMS, right? Tutorial we will upload in the LMS, and lecture videos, once the lecture is over, 1 week lecture is over, we will post that week of lectures in the YouTube and share you the link so that you can take a look at those videos at your convenient time. Right, so that is how we are planning to conduct this semester lectures for this course, right? So numerical methods. So as you know, it is a 2-credit course. So it is the final exam is 2-hour paper. You will have to answer 3 questions out of 4, and we did not change too much of syllabus, even though it is a new syllabus and new structure, right? So we try to cover up as much as possible from the previously designed course AMM 321, right? So the previous course is this AMM 321 GE2, right? So this course is slightly modified and renamed as AMM 303 G2 numerical method. So the material is almost same. So you don't need to worry about past papers and everything, because if you look at the old past papers of this course, this past paper, these questions are almost similar to what you have there as well, right? So you don't need to worry too much about the new course code or anything. It is pretty much similar to the old one as well, right? So now let's get into the subject, right? So the first section, right, is about solving system of linear equations, right? The first chapter, right? So solving system of linear equations, right? So this is a very basic thing, right? You started learning it from O level, right? So where you solve 2 equations with 2 variables, right? And then obtain what is x and y or something like that, right? So for example, you did this, right? So if you have 2 equations like this, right? From this, right? So this is very basic type of solving system of linear equation question, right? You must have learned this in O level mathematics. So when you have 2 equations, x and in x and y, right? So you solve them to get x and then you get y, right? So that is something you must have done in O level, right? So basically there are 2 ways to handle this kind of problem, right? Especially 2 variable problems, right? So one is, right? So one of the methods you must have learned in the O level is drawing the lines, right? So you draw ax plus by is equal to c. Say for example 2x plus 3y is equal to 5, right? So then you know how to draw the line, right? Similarly, minus x plus 2y is equal to 4, then you know how to draw it, right? So you draw both the lines on one xy plane and you can find what is x and y from that, right? Second one is, second method you solve, you do is elimination method, right? So basically what you do is you first use these 2 equations and eliminate y or x, right? And then you solve for one variable, right? So the next one is, right? The second one is elimination technique, right? So you try to eliminate one of the variables and solve this, right? So here, these are the two methods you must have learned in O level, right? But when the number of equations and number of variables get large, right? Say for example, you have a 5 equation in 5 variables, right? Then you cannot draw the line because x and y, mx plus b is the only line you know how to draw, right? So if you have 5 variables, then you cannot draw the line. So for higher order dimensions, right? Okay, so for higher order methods, right? So higher number of variables method, right? So if you have a 3 equation, 3 variable, or 5 equation, 5 variable, 100 equation, 100 variables. Sometimes you may have 100 equation, 55 variables, stuff like that. You have a lot of things, right? Different ways to see a system of equation. So as long as you have more than 2 variables, then you cannot draw the lines. So obviously you may need to go to the elimination method, right? So in this first section, the first part of the first section, right? This is what we are going to do. We are going to talk about different types of elimination methods which we can use to solve a system of linear equation, right? So that is what we are going to do. So in order to do that, first thing is we will consider an arbitrary system of linear equations, and then we will try to see the matrix notation. Right, so we are going to see the matrix notation, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to see how we can write down a system of linear equation in matrix form, right? So let me go with the example first, right? A 2 cross 2 example, right? So same example I write. Ax plus by is equal to c, px plus qy is equal to r. So this is the system of equations, 2 variable, 2 equation system. So this is something you have to solve. So how we can rewrite this in a matrix form? So what we do is we put the coefficients in a matrix, right? So you know the coefficients are A, B, P, and Q because there are two equations, 2 coefficients. So you will have a 2 cross 2 coefficient matrix. This multiplied by a column vector x, y. That is the vector which you have to find, right? So the components of these vectors are the variables or the unknowns of this equation. This is equal to a right hand side vector c comma r, right? So here if you multiply this matrix equation, first row by the column, so AB multiplied by XY, so AX plus BY is equal to first component C. This multiplied by this, so Px plus Qy is equal to R, right? So you know that by this example, if you are given a system of linear equation, you can write this in a matrix form like this, right? So here, this is, you have a coefficient matrix A with a vector x, right? With the vector x is equal to another vector b, right? So this system of equation is written as a matrix multiplication form. Ax is equal to b, where A is a coefficient matrix, x is the vector of unknowns, b is the right hand side vector, right? So if you can do this for a 2 cross 2 system, then you can do it for any number of equations and any number of variables. Right? So now let us write down a general form. Right? So now a general term. So let us consider a system of m equations with n variables. Right? So number of equations and number of variables are different here. Right? So that is how we generally defined it. So let's look at the equations. This is the first equation. First equation with n variables, right, or n unknowns. So you will have n coefficients. I name it as A11. So first coefficient on the first equation, A12, second coefficient on the first equation, and A1n, nth coefficient on the first equation, right? Similarly, I write the second row, A21, x1, A22, x2, plus also up to A2n, xn is equal to B2. That is the second equation. So similarly, there are m equations. So am1, x1 plus am2, x2 plus all the way up to amn, xn is equal to bn. Right? So there are m equations. Right? So there are m equations, n variables, n unknowns. So you write this. Right? So you can write this in a matrix form. Okay, so you can write this matrix, right, in the form, the system in the matrix form Ax equal to B, where A is a coefficient matrix, right, m cross n matrix, m rows, n columns matrix, x is a column vector of n components, B is a column vector of m components, right? So you can represent the system of equation on that side into a matrix form like this, right? So like this, where the matrices are this. So what we are going to do is to, from now on, whenever we try to solve a system, right, the first thing we do is we convert that into a matrix system, right? Because handling the matrix is easier than handling lots of equations when it comes to computation of values, right? Especially computing larger size systems by using computers, right? So we will try to always look at the system of equations in the matrix notation, right? Instead of looking at that notation, most often, most of the time, we will try to look at the system in a matrix form. So now we are going to talk about how to solve a system like this by using elimination method, right? For simplicity, right, we will, in this course, we will always try to have same number of unknowns and the number of equations. So here I have different number of unknowns and different number of variables. So if I have same number of unknowns and same number of variables, then I will have a square matrix here, right? So that's the first remark I'm going to say. Right? Right, so we will always focus on a systems where m is equal to n, right? So we have m number of equations and n number of same number of equations and same number of unknowns. So in that case, the coefficient matrix become a square matrix, right? Same number of rows and same number of columns. So we will focus on elimination methods, right? So that is our main focus of this part of the first chapter, right? So how to do the elimination for this. Before going deep into elimination, let us revisit what we learn in O level, so some basic mathematics level, right, about solving a system of equations by looking at a two variable equation, right? So let us see. This is about types of solution, right? So here, what the problem is, sometimes the system of equations may have only one solution, right? Sometimes the system of equation may have many solutions, right? Sometimes the system of equation may not have a solution, right? So let us look at a simple example. It's a 2x2 examples. I will write in the equation form so that you can relate it with your O-level thing. Right? So if you have a system like this, two variable equation, so clearly you know there is only one solution for this, right? So you know, if you solve this, you get x equal to 1, y is equal to 1, right? So that is the solution, because if you add these two equations, you get 4x equal to 4. So x equal to 1, y is equal to 1, fine, right? So you know this. So this means exactly one solution, right? Right, so the system has exactly one solution. Right, so this is one type. Now let us look at another example. Okay, before looking at another example, there is another way to do this also, right? So if you draw the pictures, right? So you have when you put x equal to 0, y is equal to 3, and when you put y is equal to 3, sorry, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1 half. So you have one line go like this, and the other line might go like this, and this is the point 1 comma 1, right? So if you draw the pictures of the line, you can see that both the lines intercept with each other, right? So in that case, you can see that the so the system has exactly one solution, right? So this is one example. Now let's look at the other example. Now if you look at this equation, right? If you solve this equation, right, you know that, right, there is no way that you can eliminate x and y, right? If you look at this example, right, so you know that, so here by just adding these two, you know, you cancelled out y, so you get x and then get y. Here whatever you do, both of them will cancel together, right? In this example you can see that if you multiply this by 2 and subtract this one, x also cancel. If you try to cancel y, x will cancel. If you try to cancel x, y will cancel. So in this example, you can see that x and y are cancelling together, right? So there is no other way other than writing y as 3 minus 2x, right? So this could be the only solution you can get, right? By both the equations, you can get y is equal to 3 minus 2x. So here x can be anything, right? So x can be any real number, right? So if you put x is equal to 0, you get y is equal to 3. If you get x equal to 1, you get y is equal to 1. If you get x equal to 2, you get y is equal to minus 1. So here you can see that, right, the system of equation has infinitely many solutions, because real number is infinitely many numbers, right? All real numbers are infinitely many. So infinitely many solutions. Right, so infinitely many solutions, right? So here if you draw the picture, right, if you draw the picture, you can see that both the lines are on top of the other, right? From this, you know, this line will go through like this, right? So sorry, 3 and 1.5 I believe, right? So y is equal to 3 when x equal to 0, and when y is equal to 0, x equal to 1.5. This line is also same. When you put y is equal to x equal to 0, y is equal to 3 again, right? So when you put y is equal to 0, x equal to 1.5 again. So you will have only one line, right? No other line, right? So exactly one line. So any value in this line is a solution, right? Any point in this line is a solution. So that is why here you have infinitely many solutions, right? Right. So now let's look at a third type of example. Let's see. Right. So here in this example, you can see that when you try to cancel y, right? Right. So when you try to cancel the y, right? So you can see that in this example, if you try to cancel y, what you are going to get, right? So when you cancel y, you multiply this by -2 and add. So you will end up with 0 is equal to 1, right? So by using your O-level knowledge, right? So nothing special here, right? In O-level, this is what you do. You cancel one of the variables. So let me try to cancel y, right? So if I cancel y, right, I will get 0 is equal to 1. Or if I cancel x also, I will do the same thing, right? I will end up with 0 is equal to 1. And you obviously know this is not possible, right? So this is not possible. 0 is equal to 1 will never be a possibility. So that means you cannot solve these two equations at the same time, right? So that means there are no solutions for this, right? Because of this problem, right? No solutions. So here again, if you draw the pictures, you will see that both the lines will never cut each other. Right? So x plus y is equal to 2. So it will go between 2 and 2, right? See, other one, when x equal to 0, y is equal to 2.5. So the other line will go like through 2.5 and 2.5. So you can see that these two are parallel lines, right? So you can see that these two lines are parallel to each other. So if you have parallel lines, then they will not intercept with each other. So there are no solutions, right? So now come back to this infinite case, right? So infinite case, when you try to eliminate, right? When you try to eliminate, but you will get this. You will end up with 0 is equal to 0, right? Here, if you try to eliminate y, you get 0 is equal to 0, right? So that is why you have infinitely many solutions. Right? Here, what you get is you get 0 is equal to 1, which is completely wrong. So that means there are no solutions. So there are three types of solutions you are going to get from a system of linear equation. One is like the first example, you solve it very nicely, you get value for x and you get value for y, or you get value for y first and then get a value for x next. Right? Second one, when you try to solve the equation, you get 0 is equal to 0 at some point. Right? So you are going to get 0 is equal to 0 at some point. So then you obviously know the system will have infinitely many solutions. Right? Another case, when you try to do the elimination and solve, you will end up with something like 0 is equal to 1 case. So that is mathematically wrong. So then obviously you know there are no solutions, right? Picture comes only for two variable examples. Just to for understanding only, I give you a two variable example and draw the picture. But right, for three variables or four variables, pictures does not help. But this theory will always work. Whenever you try to eliminate, if you ended up with 0 is equal to 0, then you know you will have infinitely many solutions somewhere. Right? When you have 0 is equal to 1 at some point of your elimination, then you know, okay, this system will have no solution. Right? So when the system eliminates nicely and give you one by one solution, then you know it is a unique solution, or exactly one solution, right? So these are the three types of solutions you may have in a system of linear equation, right? So this is, I gave you about three types of solutions by just giving you an example of a 2 cross 2 system, but we will revisit this after studying our elimination technique, right? So now next what we are going to do is we are going to start talking about how to do the elimination process, right? And then after finishing the elimination process, we will come back to this type of solutions and see how we can, these are the three types, you don't have any more other types, right? But these are the three types. Now for a higher order systems, we will see how we can incorporate this once again when we finish doing the elimination, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to start talking about elimination techniques, right? Okay, so next topic is called Gaussian elimination, right? So here, what we are going to do is we are going to eliminate some values to solve a system, right? So that is the idea, right? So what we do is, right? So given a system of n equations with n unknowns, right? So then clearly, you know, it is a square matrix. A is a square matrix. So what we do is, right? So what we are going to do here is we are going to convert this system into an upper triangular system, right? So where U is an upper triangular matrix. So upper triangular matrix mean every element above diagonal are or below diagonal are 0, right? So U will be of this form. U is going to look like this. U11 and then 0, sorry, U11, U12 all the way up to U1n. Here you are going to have 0, U22 all the way up to U2n and 0, 0 all the way up to UNN. Right, so you can see that everything below this diagonal part are all 0, right? So that is the meaning of upper triangular matrix, right? So if you say U is an upper triangular matrix, then that means all the elements below the diagonal in that matrix are 0, right? Right, so all the matrices, any matrix with all the elements below the diagonal are 0 is called an upper triangular matrix, right? So that is what we are going to do. We try to convert this matrix A into a matrix like this, upper triangular matrix. So every element below the diagonal has to be converted to 0, right? So when we do that, we will automatically change this right hand side vector as well, right? So B, right? So that is called, that will be converted into a new column vector C, right? So how we can do this elimination, right? So I say apply an elimination technique. So that is by doing the row operations, right? So now, right, so elementary row operations we call it, right? So that is what we are going to do. The elimination technique is basically elementary row operation. So there are three elementary row operations. One is interchanging two rows. We denote it by Rij. That means we change the ith row with the jth row. Right. Second one, you multiply a certain row by a non-zero constant, which is known as k, so that we denote as k times Ri. The third one, okay, The third one, what you do is you multiply a certain row by a constant, right? And add it with another row, right? So first one is you interchange two rows, I and j, rij, we denote it by rij. Second one is you multiplying a row by a non-zero constant k, we denote it by k times ri. That means the ith row is multiplied by k. Third one is you add a non-zero constant multiple of one row to the other, right? So what here do we do is we multiply the jth row by a k and add with the ith row. So that is how we do the three elementary row operations. These are the three elementary row operations. So in the next class, what we are going to do is we are going to see an example for these three row operations. And then based on that, we are going to see how we can do this Gaussian elimination process by using the row operations, right? So that is what we are going to do. That we will talk about in the next class, right? So I will post the Zoom class link on the WhatsApp group on the day before the class time, right? So I will stop here and then continue in the next class.